Hey friends, this is what I expect as a manager from my teammates and also from myself. This is about how I think about what success looks like in a framework for my employees to follow. So, number one, show up. If you aren't there, you can't proceed any further, right? But showing up is not just being on the call or being at the table. It's mentally being prepared. It's having that coffee. It's having whatever you need to take care of in your personal life taken care of so that when you're in that call, you are able to be present and engaged. And that's the next item, right? Number two is you show up, but then mentally switched on, mentally plugged in, paying attention to what is happening, following not just what the words that somebody is saying, but the intent of what they are trying to say, or following through the context of what they have said before and now what they are trying to. So fully switched on, paying attention, showing up, paying attention, then doing the work, right? Doing what needs to be done. Sometimes doing what needs to be done means figuring out what the next task should be or brainstorming what the next task should be. But at some point, hands need to go on keyboards, directions need to be given to coding agents. We need to go and actually change the world from how it exists this morning to how it'll exist this afternoon. And so sometimes we don't agree with what those steps are, or we don't like it, or it's inconvenient or annoying, but getting things done is a key step in that process, right? So it builds showing up, paying attention. And now you can't do what needs to be done if you haven't done those previous two. And then that leads us to the fourth one. Don't agree if you don't agree. This one is a little bit more advanced because you are taken more seriously if you are doing the work, right? If you are paying attention and if you've shown up, then this is what buys the trust from the team that when you disagree, you're not disagreeing because it's inconvenient and you're not disagreeing because you're trying to shirk the work or not do what is necessary. You are doing what is necessary. Hey, I don't agree with this path. I don't agree with this strategy. Here's why. Here's what I think we should do instead. Here's what feels off to me. So not agreeing is a gift that we give to the team. It's using our knowledge. Not doing this, so just doing whatever the most important person in the room says we're going to do, robs the team of your expertise. So if you don't quite understand the reasoning or the why behind something, interrupting and saying, I know you've said this before, but this argument of why we should do it this way versus another way still doesn't make sense to me. Can you explain it to me again? Sometimes the simplest questions lead to the deepest, most important answers. So it is all of our responsibility to move forward and only do that in the case when we've disagreed. Now, at the same time, just because we've disagreed doesn't mean we can then hold that as some sort of check that we can then later cash and say, prove that we were right and other people were wrong, right? Not agreeing is a gift we're giving the team. It's not something that we're holding back for ourselves so that we can hold it against somebody later, right? Being open to outcome says, if the team decides that we are going to go down a path, then not agreeing says, okay, well, I didn't agree with that path, and I explained why or where the risks were. I gave the team the knowledge or the experience I had, and we were able to craft a strategy that could minimize those risks. Now, we chose to go down that path anyways, and being open to outcome is I'm going to do my best to make that path a success, not holding back and using it as a way to prove that I was right all along. So I don't want to work on a team with people who are like that. I'm sure you don't want to work on a team with people who are like that either. So reviewing, show up, all right? Mentally, physically, in a state when you can actually do the work. Pay attention. Expend the mental energy to engage with what is happening. Do what needs to be done, right? Do the work. Sometimes it's inconvenient. Sometimes it's, mindless, but we need to do it anyways. We need to move the state of the world from what it was to what we want it to be. And don't agree if you don't agree. That doesn't mean stand and be stubborn and don't do the work. No, doing the work comes first. but not agreeing, explaining why, helping the team craft a better strategy, craft ways to do risk mitigation, and then be open to outcome, right? If we choose to go do something after we've decided and we've looked through the risks, okay, great. We're all going to lean forward and we're all going to pull on the same oar to make this team a success. So I've written this up in a more detailed way as well here on a blog post. I look forward to your comments and feedback. I will see you guys in the comment section. Cheers.